Welcome to Everyday Revival, where faith gets real, hope gets loud, and revival becomes a lifestyle. I'm your host, Pastor Philip Burns, and around here, we believe God doesn't just move on Sundays. He moves in kitchens, break rooms, job sites, and everywhere His people show up. Every episode is built to help you live stronger, walk closer with Jesus, overcome the battles that try to break you, and carry the fire of God into your everyday world. So take a breath, open your heart, and get ready, because revival starts right where you are. This is Everyday Revival. All right, welcome back to Everyday Revival. I'm Pastor Philip Burns, and today I want to talk to people who are doing the right things, but still waiting on God to move. You prayed, you obeyed, you rebuilt the altar, you stayed faithful, and yet you're still waiting. And if we're honest, waiting is where a lot of people lose the fire. Not because they stopped believing, but because they got tired of believing for something. Waiting can wear you down if you don't understand what God is doing in it. Here's the truth. Most people don't like to hear. God is not punishing you in the waiting. And He's not ignoring you either. Most of the time, He's preparing you. Scripture shows us this over and over. God rarely moves instantly. There's almost always a space between promise and fulfillment. And that space can feel uncomfortable. It can feel quiet. It can feel frustrating. Sometimes it feels like nothing is happening at all. But something is happening. And I want you to hear this. Waiting doesn't mean God is inactive. Waiting means God is working beneath the surface. Think about a seed. Once it's planted, nothing looks different on the surface for a while. If you didn't understand how growth works, you'd think nothing was happening. But underground, roots are forming. Strength is developing. Structure is being built to support what's coming. And if that process gets rushed, whatever grows above ground won't last. That's what waiting is. It's root work. Here's where people get stuck. We start interpreting delay as denial. We start assuming silence means abandonment. And if we're not careful, we let disappointment slowly drain our fire. Waiting can mess with your emotions. Waiting can challenge your faith. Waiting can test your consistency. But waiting will also reveal what really is in your heart. You see, waiting exposes motives. Waiting exposes trust. Waiting exposes whether we're following God for outcomes or obedience. And here's something that I've learned the hard way. God will often let the wait stretch longer than we're comfortable with, just to make sure we don't attach our fire to the outcome instead of His presence. Because if your fire only burns when prayers get answered, quickly it's fragile fire. Strong fire burns even in delays. One of the greatest dangers in the waiting is comparison. You start looking around and thinking, why is God moving for them and not me? But comparison will drain you. It'll drain your fire faster than almost anything else. You don't know what they went through. You don't know what God is developing in them. And you definitely don't know what God is protecting you from. God's timing is not slow, it's precise. And waiting seasons are often protection seasons. Here's another truth. Waiting doesn't mean you stop living. It means you keep tending the altar while you wait. You keep praying. You keep worshiping. You keep obeying. You keep serving. You keep believing. Not because you feel it every day, but because you trust Him. Fire is sustained in the waiting by consistency, not emotion. Some of the strongest believers I know didn't get there through instant breakthroughs. They got there by staying faithful when nothing seemed to be happening. They learned how to wait without quitting. They learned how to trust without seeing. They learned how to keep their fire burning even when answers were delayed. And here's the part I want you to catch. Waiting doesn't end with nothing. God always finishes what he starts. The waiting season ends with maturity. It ends with clarity. It ends with strength. It ends with fruit. And when God finally moves, you'll realize the wait didn't weaken you. It prepared you. So if you're waiting right now, don't rush God. Don't quit early. Don't let discouragement steal your fire. Stay planted. Stay faithful. Stay hungry. Because fire that survives the waiting becomes fire that lasts. Here's your activation for today. Instead of asking God, how much longer? Ask him, what are you building in me right now? That question changes everything. Thanks for joining me on Everyday Revival. If this spoke to you, share it with someone who's waiting and needs encouragement. Stay revived, stay steady, stay relentless. I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in to Everyday Revival. If today blessed you, challenged you, or lit something up in your spirit, share it with someone who needs that same fire. Subscribe, leave a review, and make sure you follow me on social media so you don't miss a single episode. Remember, revival isn't a moment, it's a lifestyle. I'll see you in the next one. Stay revived, stay relentless, and stay ready. Thanks for tuning in to Everyday Revival. If today blessed you, challenged you, or lit something up in your spirit, share it with someone who needs that same fire. Subscribe, leave a review, and make sure you follow me on social media so you don't miss a single episode. Remember, revival isn't a moment, it's a lifestyle. I'll see you in the next one. Stay revived, stay relentless, and stay ready.